Hey everybody, Ryan here at eTrailer. Today on our 2021 Mazda CX-9, we're going to be showing you how to install the CURT Trailer Hitch receiver. Before we get into that though, why don't we take a minute, check this out, and make sure it'll work for you. Whether you're looking to pull the trailer around or use accessories like a bike rack or cargo carrier, you're going to need a trailer hitch. And so having this back here is going to help open up your opportunities on what you're going to be able to get done. And with this particular one, it's going to be able to handle just about all those tasks. And I think it looks pretty good too. You know, for the most part, it's going to be completely hidden. Really just be able to see the receiver tube opening there. And it sits up tight against the bottom of it and kind of puts off a factory type appearance. This one has a gloss black finish, so it kind of stands out a little bit more. I'm kind of partial to the eTrailer one. It's more of a matte black and matches the bumper a little bit, but that's just my opinion. You know, it might change if you have a black CX-9. This might blend in a little bit better. So it's going to be entirely up to you in terms of what you like appearance-wise. One of the big questions a lot of people wonder about is, by putting a hitch back here, is it going to affect your hands-free liftgate assist feature? And the answer is no, for the most part. As long as you kick your foot to either side of the receiver tube opening, the hatch will open up just like it should. This is a Class 3 hitch, so it's going to have the 2" by 2" receiver tube opening. It's going to use the standard 5/8 pin and clip. Keep in mind though, this doesn't come with the hitch. If you need one, you can grab it at eTrailer, and a lot of times the new accessories you buy all have one with it as well, so just something to keep in mind. The safety chain openings are nice and large and will allow you to use just about any size hook that your trailer might have on it. As far as the hitch's weight capacities, it's going to have a 600-pound maximum gross tongue weight, which is the amount of weight pushing down on the hitch. It's a high number, and you'll be able to use pretty much any type of bike rack or cargo carrier that you'd want to, for example. As far as the maximum gross trailer weight rating, that's going to be 4,000 pounds for the amount of weight pulling on the hitch. So the weight of your trailer plus anything that you might have on it. This can be used with the weight distribution system, which is a separate component. What happens whenever you use that, it's going to keep your Mazda and your trailer level whenever you're towing it down the road. So if you got a bigger camper or something like that, might be worth checking out. Even if you use that though, capacities are going to remain the same. I do always like to suggest though, it's never a bad idea just to grab your Mazda's owner's manual. That way you can check in there and make sure that your SUV can handle that much weight safely. Now we can go over some measurements. These will help us figure out what type of accessories will work best. From the ground to the top inside edge, the receiver tube openings can be about 14 inches. So if you plan on pulling a trailer, chances are pretty good. You can use a ball mount that has a slight rise in the shank, probably about 2 inches for most people. From the center of the hitch pin hole to the edge of the rear bumper, that looks like it's going to be about 5.5 inches. And you can use that to help figure out that if any folding accessories you might have can be stored in that upright position without hitting the back of your Mazda. At the end of the day, a hitch you really can't go wrong with. You know, it looks good and it's going to let you do all those different types of things. As far as the installation goes, this one really isn't too bad. You drop the exhaust down some, which is pretty easy, and the hitch essentially just kind of bolts up in place. So shouldn't run into too many issues there. If you'd like to see how that's done though, feel free to hang around. We'll go ahead, pull into the garage, and put it all together now. To begin our installation, we're going to be here underneath the back of our Mazda, and first thing we need to do is remove this panel here, and that's going to entail taking out 4 fasteners, 2 on each side. So here's what 2 of those fasteners are going to look like. I want to mention from this point on, anything we do to one side of the vehicle, we're also going to do to the other side, because they'll be set up the same way. But with these, you can take a flathead screwdriver, just pry down on the head, pull the whole base out. Same thing with this one. I already did the other side, and now we should be able to get this removed here. Looks like there might be some type of tab holding it in, which I'll drop this down and show you what I'm pushing on. So there's that little keeper there. Kind of pry on that. This will come down and we will set it off to the side. So now we need to lower our exhaust down some to give us some extra space to work. So I'm going to take a strap, run it from side to side, snug it up a little bit. That way we can kind of control how fast and how far we let the exhaust come down. To lower the exhaust, we're gonna have a total of 4 isolator hangers that look just like this. So 2 on each side of your vehicle. You can spray them down with some soapy water, some type of lubricant. Makes it a lot easier to slide them off. And then you just take a pry bar, big screwdriver, whatever you got, and work one end of the hanger off. So I got the other side off already, and now I can loosen this up some and give us that extra space. Now we can remove this plastic piece here, this little bracket. So there's a push pin fastener. We pop that out. And then up there, the 10mm bolt. Pull that out. And we should be able to just kind of work this down and out of the way. Now we can get our hardware in place. We're gonna have 2 attachment points in our frame. One of them will be this one here. And you wanna start with that one. Take a coiled end of your fish wire, put it through, feed it towards the back of your vehicle. And what we're trying to do is to get it to drop out of that larger hole there, which you got kind of lucky, it came right out. A lot of times you might have to reach up there and kind of help give it some assistance. What you're gonna do, take your carriage bolt, put on a spacer block, thread the carriage bolt onto the pull wire, and then feed the hardware up into the frame one at a time. Pull it down, so it drops down like that. And then to get the hardware up there, you're just gonna take your coiled end, put on a spacer block, thread on the carriage bolt. We're gonna reverse fish wire this one. So you'll take your bolt, put that in first, then your block, and drop it back down. Now with an extra set of hands, we could take our hitch, feed the wires through the openings, raise it up into position until the hardware drops through, and then we can remove one of the pull wires. On all the bolts, you're going to take a flange nut, get that started hand tight on each side, that way the hitch will support itself while we work on the rest of the hardware. Once all the hardware is in place and hand tight, then we come back with a 3/4 inch or 19mm socket and snug it all down. So once all the hardware is snug, we need to come back with a torque wrench and make sure to tighten it to the amount specified in our instructions. Once the hitch is all torqued down, you can rehang your exhaust. So I did 3 out of the 4 already. But you just re-lubricate them, spray them back down again, and slide them right back into place. And then we can go ahead and remove our strap. And that'll finish up our look at and our installation of the CURT Trailer Hitch receiver on our 2021 Mazda CX-9.